Germans love to react in one-word responses. Ach so, genau, doch. But what if they drop a reply that doesn't even sound like a real word? What does it mean if a German goes eben? Eben? That sounds like somebody trying to say a word and then swallowing a fly. Eben. Or a very bad beatboxer during practice. Imts, imka, imts, imka, imts, imka. Yo! But in truth, it's just the way that Germans slur the pronunciation of a common modal particle. No, don't go. I know I said a difficult word, but you don't have to know what a modal particle is to understand this video, I promise. I'm gonna make it fun, okay? What we actually mean to say, but are too lazy to do so, is eben. If you look for a direct translation in English, the closest equivalent is usually just. But because German loves to make things complicated, it's not just. See what I did there? It can bend time, change dimensions, and simultaneously start and end arguments. Oh, I can do that too, especially during that time of the month. In short, that word is a whole mood. The first function of eben is in a time context. There are many words that signal time in German. Gestern, yesterday. Später, later. Jetzt, now. But usually they politely choose between past, present and future. Eben, on the other hand, lives in a quantum realm. It can mean that an event happened in the past or is about to happen in the future, depending on the context. Let's look at the following example. Ich habe eben einen Keks gegessen. Did I just add that bit so I could eat a cookie on camera? Yes, I did. One like, one cookie for me. Don't disappoint me. Ich habe gerade einen Keks gegessen means I've just eaten a cookie. Here, eben acts like just now or a moment ago. You can add gerade to create a sense of immediate urgency. Ich habe gerade eben das Paket abgeholt. Or you can add erst to turn it into just now. Mann, ich habe gerade erst gewischt. I only just mopped the floor. You just did that. You don't want or need to do it again. But if you say this instead, okay, ist denn der Stecker drin? Hast du versucht, ihn einmal rauszuziehen und wieder reinzustecken? Schon ganz oft und schnell hintereinander, okay. Ja, dann weiß ich auch nicht. Warte, ich komme eben vorbei. Warte, ich komme eben vorbei. Hang in there, I'll just quickly stop by. Suddenly, eben describes something that somebody will do the next moment or right away. And notice how it's a prediction of an upcoming event now? That word is a time traveler. By adding mal in front or behind it, it gets a sense of casual routine. Ich gehe eben mal zum Supermarkt. Or you can use it to ask for a favor. Kannst du das eben mal halten? Klar. Wie lange? Hallo? From time to space. Because in physical terms, eben can also be a regular adjective, meaning smooth, flat or level, like in perfectly horizontal. Der Boden ist nicht ganz eben, oder? I think the floor isn't quite level. Wow, das Holz ist total eben. The wood is completely smooth. The opposite of eben is uneben, by the way. Huch. Die Straßen hier sind aber ganz schön uneben.
Mama, mir ist schlecht.
And there are many compound words you can build with eben. If something is at ground level, it's ebenerdig. If you want to smooth out a bumpy, rough surface, the verb is ebnen. And a vast, flat piece of land is die Ebene, a plain or a plateau. It also means the layer. Just remember, eben is anything flat.
So, like your jokes?
Moving on to how Germans use eben in a conversational way. Because here is where it gets a bit confusing. Well, you're probably already confused. But hear me out. We'll do this together, okay? Let's enter the savage territory of German discussion culture, hand in hand. Germans don't like to waste breath. Why use a whole sentence to say, I completely agree with your well-formulated opinion, when you can just throw one single word at somebody? Eben! Das ist doch dumm. Eben. What you see here is a mid-conversation mic drop. Eben. Oh. It means thank you. Exactly. Told you so. That's what I've been saying the whole time. There's a relief and acknowledgement to it. And maybe a slight hint of you're stating the obvious, so can we finally move on? But what if you don't agree and want to crush somebody's train of thoughts instantly? Well, you just flip it into the negative. Eben nicht. The beauty of it, it doesn't just mean no. It says no, and you should have known better if you were paying attention. You didn't just get it wrong. You got it completely upside down, and your mental sloppiness insults me. I love it when the German language does that. So much loaded subtext, so much drama, and all you actually hear is eben nicht. Sticking with the drama theme, eben can also add a beautiful layer of passive aggressiveness to a statement. Braucht noch jemand meine Hilfe? Ihr wisst ja, ich kann alles. Nein? Naja, dann eben nicht. Dann gehe ich eben. Feel the defiance, how snappy that sounds. You can literally hear the ego cracking. Wait, why am I so schadenfroh today? Dann eben nicht. It's like, fine, have it your way. It's the linguistic equivalent of, you're ugly anyway. Following a rejection on Tinder. Dann gehe ich eben is the exact same energy, just combined with an action as a consequence that should ideally serve as a threat. Fine, then I'll just leave, if that's what you want. By the way, if you're hearing a weird noise, that's the wind. There's a storm outside, but I cannot close the window because otherwise I will melt. You can add whatever you want to this amazing structure. Okay, dann lasse ich dich eben in Ruhe. Fine, then I'll just leave you alone. Okay, dann hau ich dir eben eine rein. Fine, then I'll just punch you in your face. Na gut, dann kaufe ich mir jetzt einen richtig hässlichen Hamster und nenne ihn so wie dich. Fine, then I'll just buy a really ugly hamster now and name it after you. Nothing is impossible as long as you add that snappy eben right in the middle. And there's another thing that Germans love to do. Act unnecessarily unimpressed. If they're trying the best piece of cake they've ever had in their lives, their compliment will probably not reflect that emotionally. They'll maybe say, nicht schlecht, not bad. Ja, kann man essen. One can eat that. They're not trying to be mean, it's just a habit. It's more a sign of politeness and an odd, cozy humor than of actual rudeness. This reserved, playfully indifferent demeanor can also be found when Germans are asked how they feel. Wie geht es dir? Muss ja, ne? How's it going? Well, it just has to, right? Or they might just sigh and say, et ist eben wie it is, ne? Es ist eben wie es ist. Well, it's just how it is. That's the most German reaction to when life gives you lemons. Just accept your misery. As you may have noticed, that sentence uses eben once again. Here it also serves as just, but delivered with a slight shrug. Lastly, two honorable mentions, ebenso and ebenfalls. They both mean also, but can be used as a polite likewise as well. Ich wünsche dir von Herzen, dass du jeden Tag mit dem Ärmel an der Türklinke hängen bleibst, dass dir beim Laufen die Socke im Schuh unter die Ferse rutscht und dass du immer erst merkst, dass der Toast hümmelig ist, wenn du schon 2 Scheiben gegessen hast. Ebenso. It sounds a tiny bit old-fashioned though. The younger, more common conversational choice would be gleichfalls. Is eben an easy word to learn in German? Eben nicht. But hopefully this lesson made it a little bit simpler to understand. Any more questions? No? Na dann gehe ich eben. Until next time. Bye! Why? Why? Why?